If you saw my magic circle, we're going to continue on and do a granny square. We're going to use the same color for this. We're not going to switch colors at this time. So we're going to keep that chain stitch right there. We're going to go into the next few little tops of the stitches, and what we're doing here is just kind of it's called single crochet in British. I'm trying to remember what it's called in American crochet, but you're just going into the loop, pulling up a loop, but you're pulling through that loop that's on your hook. You're not making a single crochet, and then you're going to go into that first chain stitch, pull up, and again you're going to just pull through right there, and 1, 2, 3. You're going to do your double crochets, 2, 3, 4. You're going to do chain stitch, and in that same hole you're going to go 1, 2, 3, 4. Single crochet, or chain stitch, and it's going to go to the next hole. You're going to do a double crochet into that hole, and that starts to get your like the one before. You find the top of your first double crochet, pull up a loop, and just pull all the way through, and you're going to do that all the way across to the corner. And of course, if you're changing colors, you don't have to do this step. You can just change the color right into the single crochet, and so it works the same. You go 1, 2, 3. You're going to make your corner with your increase. 1, 2, 3, 4. And here's your increase. 1, 2, 3. We'll do one more. Now, the next one right here is not going to need a corner. It's not going to be an increase. So we're just going to do 4 double crochet into that one. Do your chain stitch, and then you go to the next corner and just continue on like that. Once you get to the end, so you have it pretty much all done, again, you're going to go into the top of that first double crochet, slip stitch. I couldn't remember the name, but it's slip stitch. So try to pick up your scissors. They're so small. And give yourself a good tail. Pull that all the way through. And then you can weave in your ends. So with something in the round, you're weaving in your ends, you want to make sure that hole is where you want it. And when I'm doing a basic granny square, I want to have a little bit of a hole right there to kind of look like the rest of it. And so you're just going to skip over 1 stitch, go in through several, like 3 at the 2 or 3 at a minimum, skip over 1 stitch, go back the way you came, skip over 1 stitch, go back, and then you can clip that off. And you can do the same with this one. And for this one, you kind of want to find your way down to those stitches. So you kind of wiggle your way down. Don't pull it too tight. You want to still have some give there. Skip over a stitch, go through several, skip over a stitch, go back the way you came, skip over a stitch, and then you can clip it. And when you have a bunch of them, you can sew them together, either using a single crochet to put them together, or the slip stitch is another thing, or you can just sew them together. So the edges you put them together, put the yarn on your needle, and just sew it across. And that's how you do it.